It's a special day in the Chris Cooking Nashville kitchen. We have a really interesting, almost Guga-like experiment dry-aged steaks for you guys today. If you've seen my previous dry-aged video, you know I said I was gonna do some experiments for you guys to see if you could do really cool dry-aged steaks in your refrigerator at home. And we're gonna do that today, but you know, a taste test this special, I'm gonna need some help in the kitchen. And I would like to introduce you to a really, really sweet and great friend of mine. Everybody help me welcome. It's Anita from Ketogenic Woman. Anita, thank you so much
I'm
for being
so
here.
happy to be selected to try your steaks.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Yes. Anita is in Tennessee. We are going to the Meat Stock event, and we're going to be having a great time over in Gatlinburg, but she had to swing through Nashville, spend some time in the Chris Cooking Nashville kitchen, and we're going to show you guys some incredible bacon grease, dry-aged ribeye steaks.
I'm so excited.
Let's get some stuff going. I'm gonna rewind back to the previous me. I'm gonna show you how we do these, and then we're gonna get them fired up, and we're gonna do a little taste test for you today on Chris Cooking Nashville. So here we are at the beginning of this dry age process. We're gonna go ahead and get ribeye steaks out of the refrigerator. Now keep those in the refrigerator until you are ready to prepare them for the dry age, because we need them to be really nice and cold. And the other thing we're gonna need is bacon grease. Now I don't have quite enough bacon grease in my pantry from actually frying bacon, so I went and bought some of this, which is just rendered bacon grease. But ideally, if you have a bunch of it saved up, you can just use whatever you have in your pantry. How much you're going to need is dependent on the size and the kind of steaks that you are trying to dry age, because really you can do this with any kind of steak or any size that you want. The bacon grease encapsulating this steak is going to prevent this from drying out, which means you can do dry age without worrying about trimming off so much from the outside that there's nothing left, which means you can get more inexpensive cuts of steak or small steaks or whatever. You don't have to get a whole roast, and you can dry age in this way. So we're going to use bacon grease. Now, if you have a bunch of this sitting around, you don't have to pay for it, which means you can just do this with whatever steak you have. And the only thing it's going to cost you is using up some of that leftover bacon grease you have and the cost of buying those steaks. So this is a much more affordable way to try some dry aged meat. And I think you guys are going to be really surprised when you see the taste test what this actually does to the steak. So I'm going to take this bacon grease, I'm going to microwave it slightly just to soften it. You don't have to use a microwave. If you're not comfortable with that, use whatever technique you would like to soften it. We want it to be pourable without being hot. We're going to get that ready, and then I'm going to pull those steaks out of the refrigerator, make sure they're really nice and cold when we go to do this so that the bacon grease will solidify when it hits those steaks. And I'm going to show you how we set these up and encapsulate them in bacon grease for dry aging. First thing we need to do is put a layer of bacon grease down on some parchment paper. This is going to seal the bottom of the steak. So I'm going to make 2 puddles of bacon grease, and we'll set our ribeye steaks directly down on top of this. So we're just going to set our ribeye steaks down on top of that bacon grease to make sure it is fully coated underneath. And I want to make sure that there is space between the steaks here, because we're actually going to get bacon grease coated all the way around the outside of the steak, on the edges, over the top, everywhere, because we want this to be completely sealed so that it's not exposed to any air in the refrigerator. Now all we're going to do is spoon bacon grease over the top, and this is why the steaks need to be cold, because the bacon grease will start to solidify when it hits the cold steak. And we're just gonna do this and coat every last bit of the steak. We're gonna get the entire top, and then I'll actually use the spoon to scoop up bacon grease and make sure I coat the sides of the steak as well. Once I have the top of all of the steaks coated, I'm going to bring bacon grease up the sides of the steak just like this and make sure I'm coating every last edge to fully encapsulate this in bacon grease. Now you could also do this with lard, or you could do it with beef tallow. You could do it with any kind of animal fat that is solid at room temperature, but bacon grease imparts a really nice smoky flavor. Now that the ribeyes have been completely coated in bacon grease, they're gonna go in the refrigerator, and you can do this anywhere from about 3 to 6 weeks, and you're gonna get more of a dry, agey type flavor the longer the meat sits and the more it tenderizes. It's also gonna impart some of that smoky bacon flavor. So these are gonna go in a refrigerator. You can do this in your regular home refrigerator. I've got a dry age chamber, but all you need to do is make sure it stays nice and cold and make sure there are no spots where air is getting to that steak through that bacon grease. So make sure the coating is completely covering and encapsulating your steak. Let it sit in the refrigerator, and it's gonna be ready for dinner when you're ready to have those dry aged steaks. Now I've got 2 of them here. I need to get a couple more ready because Anita and Jody are gonna be here for dinner. We wanna make sure we have a steak for everybody. So I'm gonna get some more ready. We're gonna throw them in the fridge, and in a few weeks, we're gonna see what they think. All right, it has been several weeks. Let's go ahead, pull those steaks out of the fridge, and we're gonna get that bacon grease off of them so we can get them cooking, and we're gonna compare those with a fresh steak that has not been dry aged. We're gonna drop them in the sous vide, but you'll be able to cook these however you would normally cook any of your steaks at home. So sous vide, grill, sear in a pan, reverse sear in the oven, whatever it is you like to do. Let's go ahead and get the bacon grease off. Let's get them going. So we're gonna peel off as much of this bacon grease as we possibly can so we can get to the beautiful aged beef underneath. These steaks are extremely tender. You can tell that they've been aged and they're much softer. So these are the bacon grease dry age right here. This is the fresh steak that was frozen and then thawed in the refrigerator. So this has not been dry aged. These have a very tender, soft texture, and the fresh one over here is much, much firmer. We're gonna get these seasoned up and we're gonna get them cooked and do a nice taste test with Anita. All right, y'all, it is time to do a taste test. It smells fantastic.
It really does. You should have smell-o-vision.
Yes, this is going to be, I hope, amazing. So this steak over here is the regular steak that was not dry aged with bacon.
Okay.
And this is our bacon grease dry aged. So I figure we'll start with the regular one and then we'll give the bacon grease a try as well. Regular ribeye.
It's melting in my mouth.
Nothing better.
Beautiful, delicious.
That's a great baseline steak. Now let's see if the bacon grease dry age makes any difference. Bacon grease dry age.
Wow, you got that smoky flavor. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless.
That is so different.
Yeah.
That's amazingly good. So it seems like it's more beefy.
Yes.
Because of the dry age, that would make sense.
Yes.
But you do get that porky, smoky hint of bacon, which is not bacon grease on the surface because I took all the bacon grease off of it.
It's like it's infused in there.
Yes, it's like it's worked all the way through the steak, all the way to the center. You get that bacon grease, bacon fat kind of flavor going on all the way through. The meat seems more cohesive, but yet more tender at the same time.
I mean, I don't want to say it's like you smoked it, but it's reminding me of, tender smoked meat.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's very, very good. And on the back end of the palate, there's that little bit of that dry age kind of almost wine flavor. It's not really like wine, but it's kind of like a wine where it has that refined aged flavor. It's so good.
That's a win.
I'm going to say that's a huge win. So if you're looking to taste something amazing, you want to do kind of a dry age thing, but you don't want to buy like a $200 primal cut and then have to age the whole thing. You don't want to have to buy a dry age chamber, any of that. You can do this in a regular refrigerator, just some nice steaks. Use some extra bacon grease if you cook a bunch of bacon and you don't know what to do with it all. Or if you have the ability to just go buy some bacon grease, you can do that. You could probably use beef tallow to dry age this. So if you have some animal fat that you can do this with, I would really recommend you give it a shot. See if it's something that you like. And even if you don't do it every day, I think it's really nice for a special occasion.
Well done.
Thank you so much for watching. All of my links are going to be down below as usual. And of course, Anita's channel is going to be linked down below. If you do not subscribe to Ketogenic Woman, number one, you're missing out. Where have you been? But number two, you need to go down to the description box, subscribe to her channel right away, because you guys may not know this, but there's a big reason that Chris Cooking Nashville exists, and that's because I was watching Ketogenic Woman when I first started Carnivore, and I actually reached out to Anita, and she was the first one that gave me a bunch of encouragement to do this, and she featured a recipe of mine way back when. It was a terrible video that I did. Please don't watch it. Her video was amazing, though. Anita is very much a big part of why Chris Cooking Nashville is here, and it is such an honor just to have you here with me.
That is so sweet of you to say that. I'm so thrilled to be here, and you guys have opened your home to me. Like I could just have been a complete stranger, and look at the steak I'm getting.
Yes. Well, we have a bunch more steaks in the sous vide that I'm going to finish up, and we have some other special things we're going to have for dinner because we got a packed house. So we're going to have some fun with friends, food, and just some good times and good conversation tonight. So make sure you go check out all the links down below. We love and appreciate every single one of you guys. This is Chris Cooking Nashville and the beautiful Anita from Ketogenic Woman. You guys eat your meat, especially if you dry age it with bacon grease. Love your life. We'll see you here in the kitchen for maybe more guest taste testers, crazy dry age recipes, who knows what else. And if you like dry age steak like this, you've got to go check out this video right over here.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Excellent.
Yes.